My name is Yasmin Hanis binti Raiza and my Mantiq number is 1231963. The title of our book review is Introduction to Logic by Irving M. Copy and Carl Cohen. It is a foundational text in logic and critical thinking, widely used in introduction. It begins by explaining key concepts such as proposition, arguments, and the distinction between valid and invalid reasoning, providing a formal and informal logic. The book explores propositional logic, including logical connective and argument validity, as well as syllogistic logic. It delves into inductive reasoning, examining how conclusions are made. A key highlight is the analysis of logical fallacies errors such as ad hominem and false dilemmas that help readers recognize faulty reasoning. It covers methods of proof, critical thinking, packed with up-to-date examples. The book is an essential resource for mastering logical reasoning and applying it to every day in our life. Thank you. I pass to the next presenter. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Next, I present the details of the book. The Introduction to Logic by Irving M. Copy, Carl Cohen, and Kenneth McMahon is a definitive resource in the study of philosophy and logic. It publishes as an ebook in 2013 by Prison Education Limited in Upper Cedar River, New Jersey. This fourth edition spans 644 pages and covers both foundational and advanced topic and logic. Thank you. I pass to the next presenter to elaborate about 5 items from book.
Now let's talk about 5 items from the book. Logic has 2 types. The first one is deductive and the second one is inductive. The distinctions between deductive and inductive logic is outlined, emphasizing how deductive reasoning leads to conclusions that are necessarily true if premises are true, while inductive reasoning leads to probable conclusions based on evidence. The second one is component of argument. An argument is described as consisting of premise, which is statements or propositions, and conclusion, with logic providing tools to assess whether the conclusion logically follow from the premise. The third item from the book is validity and soundness. The concept of a valid argument, which is where the conclusion logically follow from the premise, and the sound of argument, which is where the argument is valid and the premise are true, are explained. The next one is importance of logic. The introduction of emphasize the significance of logic in everyday life, critical thinking, academic discipline, and effective communication. The last item from the book is fallacies. Common logical fallacies or error in reasoning are briefly introduced to highlight the importance of distinguishing valid argument from flawed one in critical thinking and debate.
So now we will move to the comment and opinions for this book. So firstly, critical thinking and logic are essential for creating and assessing arguments, with deductive reasoning offering certainty and inductive reasoning evaluating possibility based on evidence. Logic makes sure that conclusions flow naturally from premises. This topic is centered with the principle of logic and critical thinking, which are essential for constructing and evaluating arguments effectively. Logic provides a framework for reasoning, allowing individuals to determine whether conclusions follow from premises in a consistent and reliable way. The focus on deductive and inductive reasoning highlights the different approaches to reaching conclusions. Deductive reasoning guarantees certainty if premises are true, while inductive reasoning reason with probabilities based on evidence. The second point is it is essential to comprehend the elements of an argument's premises and conclusion. Assessing an argument's soundness evaluate with true premises and validity, logical consistency, improve critical thinking and analytical abilities. A key aspect of this topic is understanding the components of arguments. Arguments consist of premises that support a conclusion, and the ability to assess this structure is vital for critical thinking. Learning how to evaluate whether an argument is valid, whether conclusion logically follows from the premises and sound, whether premises are both valid and true, sharpens one's ability to analyze and critique ideas. The third point is beyond philosophy, logic is useful for decision making, problem solving, and successful communication in a variety of contexts in a daily life. It encourages lucid communication, lessens communications, and promotes fruitful discussion. The discussion also emphasized the importance of logic in everyday life and various disciplines. Logic is not just for philosopher or academics. It plays a role in effective communication, decision making, and problem solving also. It helps individuals articulate their thoughts clearly, avoid misunderstanding, and engage in productive debates. The practical applications of these skills make a logic a valuable tool for personal and professional growth. And the last comment for this book, it is equally critical to identify fallacies or flaws in reasoning. Critical thinking is strengthened by recognizing faulty reasoning, which helps one steer clear or refute unsound arguments during discussions. And finally, the introduction to fallacies, comments, error in reasoning serve as a guide to avoid flawed arguments. Recognizing fallacies strengthens critical thinking by enabling individuals to distinguish between valid and invalid reasoning. This knowledge is particularly important in debates where faulty logic can mislead others or weaken one's positions. So overall, this topic provides a comprehensive introduction to the essential tools of rational thought, helping individuals navigate complex information, make sound decisions, and engage in meaningful discussion.
Essential for clear and effective reasoning. A valid argument ensures that conclusion logically follows from the premise, while a sound argument guarantees both validity and truth in its premise. Understanding this concept highlights the importance of logic in critical thinking, decision making, academic process, and meaningful communication. When human need logic, humans need logic in their life to make rational decisions, solve problems effectively, and communicate clearly. Logic helps us evaluate information, distinguish truth from falsehood, and avoid being misled by faulty reasoning or emotional biases. It is essential in critical thinking, enabling us to construct strong arguments, analyze complex situations, and find solutions.